All right, guys, welcome back to a new episode. It's been a while. Now, I wanna say this first and foremost. Yes, I do sound a little bit congested, but I need to do this episode like right now, or not right now. Like it's not like it's important or everything or anything. But yes, I'm kind of sick. I'm getting there. I feel like I'm barely starting to get congested. I already got tested to see if I got Rona, and I'd be damn if I do get Rona, and you'll see why. You'll see why. If you guys have read the title of this episode, you kind of have an idea. Yes, okay. We're gonna be talking about my experience at the Rammstein concert. Oh my god! And I knew I was gonna record this soon, but I still haven't even settled in. Like I got back from San Antonio literally what 2 days ago, and like of course school life isn't stopping, work life isn't stopping, and I'm just like, let me fucking breathe for once. And then all of a sudden my immune system was like, say less. So we're here. So until I find out what are my test results, I'm just gonna be here congested and whatnot. But if you hear me coughing once in a while like right now, then it's just me trying to recover. But yeah, like yesterday I got the fever, I got the chills, I couldn't sleep, and next thing you know, I woke up this morning and I had another fever, and my throat was hella itchy that I wanted to cough, but I'm like, nah bitch, I'm not gonna give you the satisfaction. I'm gonna hold it in as much as I can. And so far my throat is starting to clear up, but the only thing that's just congested is just my nose. So anywho, but yes, we're gonna be talking about the Rammstein concert, and oh my god, I don't even know where to start. Literally, it's been what 2 years since I've been waiting, or I've been wanting to go to this concert. Oh my god, since they got announced. And I remember when it first got announced. Actually, I didn't even know they were gonna come here. Like and what I mean by here, like in the States, because basically they're still on tour right now. If I'm not mistaken, they're going to LA after they're on their way to LA now. But they were coming to North America, and I was like, wait a second, isn't Rammstein the band that is not banned, but they're barely here in the United States? And I understand that they're German, and not a lot of people know German, especially their lyrics to the music. But at the end of the day, people are willing to go see them regardless of what language they're singing, or they're speaking of. Now this was what in 2019 when they announced that they were coming over here. And I remember I was at work one time, and then one of my coworkers was asking me, she was like, do you listen to Rammstein? And I was like, yeah, and I don't know how in the hell I started listening to them. But one day they just randomly popped up in my Spotify, and I was just like, oh, I like this. I don't care if it's in German. I don't know. I don't understand what they're saying, but I really, really love the tone, the heaviness of this music. So like when she asked me that, I was like, oh yeah. And she was like, are you gonna see them? And I was like, wait, they're coming? And she's like, yeah, you didn't know. And that's how I found out that they were coming over here. And she was telling me, she's like, the only thing is that they're gonna be going to San Antonio. And I was like, huh, interesting. And so she was telling me that she was gonna go along with a few of the coworkers. And so she's like, you should definitely go. Like every time they come here, like it's rare when they come, but when they do, oh my god, it's so beautiful. So I was like, all right, say less, right? And then Rona happened. The fucking Rona. Whenever I say Rona, I mean COVID. The coronavirus, however you want to call it. But when Rona happened, they delayed their tour. And the thing is that they were supposed to come here in 2020, and when I found out they had to reschedule for 2021, I was like, all right, well, let me see, because I did not buy the tickets when they postponed it the first time. And because of that, a lot of people did cancel their tickets, meaning that what if we can't make it around a certain time? So there were a lot of good seats for me to choose from. So when I got the tickets, it was already 2021, and they were getting. I did not know at the time, but later on, I found out that they rescheduled it once again. But before that, I bought the tickets, and I didn't realize I got some amazing seats. I did not know. I just said, okay, there's only two rows in front of me. Hopefully people don't get up, and I can stay seated the whole time. This, and that. And then, again, they postponed it once again, and I was just like, oh my god, can I go another year without, with them canceling it? And I was tempted to, get rid of the tickets and this, and that, but at the same time, I'm like, it's Rammstein. I'm like, I'm not trying to be all mean or anything, but they're already in their prime years, so, or not prime years, but they're already like old enough that there's a possibility, we might not see all of them together again, because again, it's rare when they come over here in the States. Now, if they do manage to come back like next year or the year after, I will be there, because sweet Jesus, wait till I tell you guys how this concert was. And if you guys have social media, I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen those clips already. I myself have posted some of those clips, and again, if you guys want to follow me, make sure you guys follow me on It's Lielers on both Twitter and on Instagram, and then Lielers on TikTok. With Lielers does not use TikTok that much, but when it was Rammstein, you'd be damn well I was posting some of that video. Well, I just posted one video of the Rammstein concert. So if you guys do want to check it out, definitely follow me on TikTok, or just go ahead and give a like on the video. And if you guys are having trouble trying to find me on social media, make sure to follow my link tree as well. There should be a link on this episode at the very bottom. Link dot or ee whatever, linktree.com, whatever it is, /Lielers. So make sure you guys definitely check that out. But yes, if you guys have seen those videos on social media, if you guys did not get a chance to attend the Rammstein concert, you might have an idea how it was. And trust me, it is different than seeing a video, and or it's so different from seeing a video to actually being there. Like, I remember before the concert was getting closer and closer, once they started their tour, I was getting those videos, and I'm just like, I can't wait. But we'll get into that in a bit. Now, the thing is that yes, they delayed the concert for 2 years, and sometimes I wonder, Destiny works in so many mysterious ways, because I didn't want to come public with this whole topic, but for those that do not know, if you guys remember my boyfriend Benny, me and him are currently broken up, so there's probably going to be no mention of him, or maybe once in a blue moon, or if not, I just consider him my ex. Now, and what I mean by that is because originally when I got the tickets, it was for us two, and so whenever I found out that, whenever I noticed that the date was getting closer and closer, I was like, I was like, do we have to go as friends? It's going to be so weird. It's going to be awkward. God knows what, but we didn't end the relationship in bad terms. I mean, it was kind of healthy in a way. But yeah, and so when I mean by Destiny works in so many mysterious ways, I came across with an old friend, a very, very old friend who I spoke with 5 years ago, and, surprisingly ended up back in my life. His name is Gary. Now, Gary lives in New Mexico, and when we started talking, I also found out he was also going to go to the Rammstein concert, and we started talking about it, and I was like, bro, we should definitely go together. Like, I was like, I don't want to go through this awkward stage with my ex. I'd rather go with somebody that, I had fun with 5 years ago, even though we lost touch for 5 years. And trust me, you'd be surprised how long 5 years can pass by, and you think, oh my god, I miss like so many details of you, but really it's really not a lot. But yeah, so I found out that Gary was gonna come, and literally what I did not know, but like the tickets for my section where I was at, his tickets were in the next section, and I was like, who would have known? Like, imagine if we never spoke whatsoever, we would have like come across from each other. Oh, maybe not when I found out where his seats were. I was like, but still, like, it's just weird how we were gonna be in the same area and almost close to each other, not too far away from each other, like not from the opposite side of the stage or the stadium, or God knows what. It's so weird. But we decided to go ahead and meet up, and not only that, Gary also bought some of his friends. One of his friends was Cyrus and his girlfriend Summer, so shout out if you guys are listening. But they literally drove, what, 11 hours from New Mexico all the way to fucking San Antonio, just for this concert. And me, obviously, since I'm not that far from San Antonio, it was only like 3.5 hours. So I was like rubbing that into their faces. But I really do wanted to talk about my little trip from San Antonio before I get into the good juicy stuff, because it all leads up to that. But yeah, like they came over here, we had fun, we went to the river walk, had a few drinks, and then later on started, just basically getting along. It was amazing. It was amazing the time that I had with them, and I wouldn't exchange it for anything else. It was amazing. So we did plan that on Saturday, I guess, because they are tourists. Me, I'm just like, yeah, sure, I guess you could consider me as a tourist, but I'm a local technically because it's Texas. They wanted to get some souvenirs before the concert started, and from where I was at, like from where I was parked, we could just literally take an Uber or either walk to the Alamo Dome. It wasn't that far. It was like a 15-minute walk, but some of us, like me, was wearing boots, and so we ended up taking an Uber over there, and we got there probably like right after 5, right after they opened the doors. And so we're gonna, like I said, it's all leading up to the whole thing. And so as soon as we got there, the first thing we noticed was this big ass Rammstein blimp. And it was, if you guys again follow me on social media, you will see that blimp. I literally posted it, and it's part of my profile picture now. So when I saw it, I was telling Garrett, I was like, you need to take a picture. I need to take a picture of this because this is going to be my profile picture. Like, I was freaking out. I was like, I was going to make sure I get as many as pictures and videos as I can of this concert. Because once again, it's been, 2 years since I've been wanting to come. So yeah, when we were taking pictures and all of that, I noticed how big of a line it was for those that were going to the general admission, which is going to be at the bottom of the stage. And what did I not realize until after we went inside the Alamo Dome was the merch store. The merch store happened to be outside, but then we were later told that it was also inside. But I was looking at the outside, and I was like, I am not standing there in the fucking heat just for merch. Like, I'm gonna get sunburned for all I know. And so, but next thing you know, the guy was there was a guy in the Alamo Dome that was telling us, oh no, there's 2 of them, you either go one way or you go the other way. And I just started walking. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going, let's go. So when we got to the merch store, sweet Jesus, I think we were probably there for like a good 20 minutes. But that gave us enough time for like either one of us go to the restroom, we'll still hold the spot. Cyrus and Summer went to go get something to eat. Garrett went to go get beers, because he's a drunk. And then me, well, yeah, I ended up getting either a soda, water, whatever it is to get a drink. And by the time we were closer and closer to the merch store, we got our stuff. It was time for us to get seated. So a good thing we did came in early, because I swear that line was so long after we were done. So what I happened to get was 2 shirts from the merch store, which one of them was the Alamo Dome shirt exclusively for San Antonio. Just the thing in the back, it doesn't give you like the tour dates or none of that. I also got a shirt that has all the band members of Rammstein in basically getting photographed to promote the Zeit music video, with the sand and then the bandana around their eyes. And then I also got a Rammstein keychain and a Rammstein tote. And that tote is probably one of my favorite things because, I mean, obviously I was carrying it throughout the whole concert, but now it's going to be like my little bag just in case if I don't want to take my backpack to school. I just put my laptop, my notebook, my charger, and that's it. I'll just take the tote for itself. So I'm kind of glad I got that. I spent so much money, but I do not regret it because I worked so hard for it. So I was like, yeah, this is good. This is amazing. But yeah, once we got into our seats, it turns out, excuse me, I told you I'm sick. It turns out that Garrett and, Cyrus and Summers' seats were like kind of all the way to the back, into the back of the first floor of the Alamo Dome. So like when I got there, I was like, bro, I can't see shit here. Like I would have to be seated the whole fucking time in order for me to see the stage, because right above it, like you see the second floor of the stadium and the seats. So I was like telling them, I was like, you know what? I never got a chance to sell my tickets on time. So let me go ahead and see how close are my seats, and then we go from there. And so I went and I was looking at the row and I'm just like, okay, it's not even a row number, it was a letter number. So when as soon as I got to my section, which was 102, I saw that 34 was at the very top. So I was like, don't tell me I have to go to the bottom. And I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. And next thing you know, yep, I was literally at the floor. I was so close to the floor. Again, there was 2 rows in front of me and then the floor. And I was like, bro, this is the best seat I ever gotten. And I was like texting Garrett. I'm like, hey, you need to join me. But since there was only 1 seat, you know, Garrett was like, I'm not going to ditch my friends. And I was like, I guess. So at the same time, you know, Garrett did tell me he doesn't like it when people either record shows or, you know, screaming and yelling. And I'm just like, all right. I was like, that's cool. I mean, I'm just gonna chill here, do my own business, and then I'll reunite with them later on. And I was kind of concerned because they also had my car keys, so I was just like, I'm gonna find a way. Either I go back over there, like I join them like at the end of the show, or before the concert's over, because by the time the concert's over, everybody's gonna split and I'm gonna get lost by myself. You know, it's just those little things that was going back in my head. But then when the concert started, I was like, what? My keys, what? My car, what? Nah. You know, stuff like that. But we'll get into that. So anywho, once I got into my seats, I was there. And yeah, like, you know, it was just 2 open seats. And I was like, this is amazing. I cannot believe, you know, I scored myself some good ass tickets. So like, you know, I was getting ready, you know, like for the concert to start, and I was freaking out the whole time because from what I saw on the videos, obviously there's a lot of fireworks, maybe a few little, not explosions, but like, you know, those loud pops. So, you know, my anxiety is probably like, you know, nervous if I hear it, but no, none of that at all. But yeah, like literally as soon as I sat down, you know, the concert is gonna start. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about basically everything that happened in that concert, what songs were played, and my reactions for it. But first, a word from our sponsors. All right, guys, welcome back. If you guys are barely tuning in, I don't know why you guys are skipping this, but like, yeah, I'm still under the weather. I'm still trying to breathe, and I'm praying and hoping it's not Rona. And we'll talk about why I suspect it might be. But anywho, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the Rammstein concert now. This whole time we were like, me and my group of friends, we were all trying to figure out who was gonna be the opening band or opening whatever it is to Rammstein itself. And then like I'm on my seat again. Keep in mind I'm by myself at this point because, you know, my other group of friends, they're like at the very top in a whole different section, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll just sit here. And so once I thought the thing was gonna start, they said, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, I guess presenting Rammstein or whatever. I forgot what they were saying. They were introducing this group called Duo Jacket Coke. I think I said it right. They are a French pianist female duo who played some of Rammstein's songs. And the way how it was is, you know, it was more melody. If you guys have not seen, or if you guys have not heard of Rammstein's Klavier album, which means piano, it's basically similar to that. So all of the songs that, I don't know if they were planning, yeah, I think most of the songs that they were planning to perform, like Rammstein, Duo Jacket Talk, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, they decided to play the piano version. There were some parts, you know, where they did, you know, say some stuff. For example, like Poppe. In Poppe, you know, they were playing the piano, and then at the very end, all you hear is dam dam, you know, like dam dam, which is the easiest thing. But from what I know, Duo Jacket Talk, they really love playing Furling in Paris. So now that one, they didn't perform, like Rammstein did not perform that particular song, but you know, having them perform it in the piano version, it was really nice. It actually led to everybody in the crowd, you know, turn on their flashlights on their phone and just like waving it, and it was cool. I joined later on, but because I'm in the front, I can't see much of everything that's happening behind me. So I turned it off after a little bit, but it was really nice to see a lot of people being engaged into that. I'm so grateful that even though it's not hard rock, people still appreciate it, that that duo Jacket Talk was performing, and everybody's just so involved. Loved it. But yeah, good thing they did perform. Now, before the concert was about to start, there was a little big delay. So while that delay was happening, because I think when the duo Jacket Cook was performing, it was from 7. They finished like around 7:30 ish. So excuse me. So I think Rammstein started performing like right around 8. So throughout that time, I was analyzing how beautiful the stage was, and just still trying to put it in my head that, oh my god, I'm finally here. It's been 2 years, and look where I'm at. Like, I'm literally that close to seeing the stage, even though it's farther compared to people that are in between us, that got the floor seats, and they get to walk around. But at the same time, my anxiety would never let me be in that crowd. So I'm just like, I think where I'm at is good enough. So once the concert started for Rammstein, they literally said in the beginning, somebody else announced that the band is respectfully asking for people not to record the show. Whoops. Now, the only reason why is because, it's really hard for me to explain it, because at the same time I'm like, look, it's my first time seeing them. I want to record every single little detail of it. That's what I did with Slipknot. That's what I did with Ghost in a way, but there were some parts where I didn't record. And then Rammstein would be my other one. Honestly though, if I think about it, I've been in 3 concerts recently, and it's wow. And I'm gonna get off track right now really quick, but it's crazy that the bands that I listened to the most, I finally got to see them live in a span of 6 months: October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. It's literally almost a year, honestly, almost a year at this point. But in a span of a year, I got to see like my favorite bands perform live. It's so surreal. Anywho, but so when once they made that announcement for people not to record, I literally saw everybody on the crowd with their phones up, and I was just like, well, I don't feel guilty. And I know, I'm pretty sure some of you guys are probably saying I'm a piece of shit for recording the whole show, but I'm like, please, for the love of God, try to understand, try to put yourself in my shoes. I have never been into a Rammstein concert. I don't know what to expect, but the things that I have seen on social media, it's like I really want to catch every single little detail that they do, because of how amazing I've seen those videos. So let me have my own experience. Maybe the next time if they do come, I probably won't record as much. Same thing for Slipknot, same thing for Ghost. I probably won't record as much and finally actually enjoy the show itself. But me personally, I have never been into this kind of concert, so try to understand. But yes, I am a piece of shit. I did feel guilty recording the whole show, but at the same time I'm like, let me be, because honestly I've been watching these videos since I got back. Like, once I got back home, I keep watching them over and over again, and I'm just like, I cannot believe I was there. Oh my god, I'm so glad I recorded this. I'm so glad I have this for me, for me to look at in the bag, because it reminds me of the good times I had while I was in that concert. So please understand. Anywho, and then this podcast is just basically helping me remember all of that and being able to talk out loud of it. So there's that. Anywho, but let's go ahead and start with the songs. Now, their introductory song that they had to start off the concert was Army de Tristan. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Again, I'm trying to learn German, and which, by the way, shout out to my German demographic. I still love that you guys are listening to this podcast. Danke schön. But anywho, and I'm so sorry if I butcher some of these words in German. I'm still trying to learn German, so anywho. But yes, Army der Tristan was the first song that they performed. And the way how the song was starting, because of course, they only did like a little pieces of the song itself, to introduce the band one by one. Like, of course, all the band members came out. Till was the very last one to come out and start off the song. The way how it was sounding, it was more, it was less, rock and a little bit more techno, which it was pretty catchy. I'm not gonna lie, I really love that. And then obviously me screaming and yelling to the top of my lungs because I'm seeing the band finally. Like, this is crazy. It's ah. So there's that. But the band comes out, and I'm not gonna lie, that shit was like if I was watching a masterpiece, and not only that, the stage was lighting up as it goes with the beat of the song. So it made their introduction even better. So I love how that was. I also noticed right then and there, as soon as they started performing and singing, I could not hear anything. Like, well, what I mean by that, I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear myself talking. The only thing I could probably hear is just me screaming. That's it. When I recorded these videos, you barely hear me singing. That's how loud it was, which I kind of love, But at the same time, there was parts where I was screaming at the top of my lungs and you can hear me. But, it's so faintly, But when I scream, oh, trust me, it's loud. I'm pretty sure Garrett's ears are bleeding as we speak. But anywho, excuse me. But Army that Tristan was the first song that they performed. And then after that, they followed up with Zigzag. Right off the bat, they started performing it. They performed that shit with no breaks whatsoever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because usually when what I noticed with the previous concerts that I have been in, usually the band interacts with the crowd like, oh, hey, San Antonio, this and that. We're like, for example, Rammstein, we're Rammstein, this, God knows what. They didn't do that. They did say San Antonio, like here to hype up the whole crowd, but that was about it. Like, we didn't have those little teeny tiny intermissions where the band talks to the crowd, which I don't care. I was actually happy that they went straight for the next song. I'm like, you guys are not gonna let me breathe? That's fine. I'll go ahead and die because I want to see more. I want to see what you guys have to give me. And so far, the first song nailed it. The second song nailed it. Excuse me. Now, keep in mind, I did have an idea of the set list, how it was gonna go, because I follow Rammstein on Spotify. So on their Spotify, they literally have the set list on their profile. So I've been listening to the set list on repeat, so I kind of know. Well, I had it on shuffle, so that way I didn't know what songs were gonna go in order, which was good. But I kind of knew what they were gonna perform, so I was like, okay, they haven't performed this, and I know they're gonna perform this, so I cannot wait for them to get there. Kind of like that. Excuse me. I almost lost out of breath. Whew. I'm not even in the concert. Hold up. But yeah, there was no break. Went straight to the song with Zigzag, and so for those that do not know, Zigzag is the plastic surgery one. I really like that song. But then again, it's just plastic surgery. So far they did not start the fireworks just yet. That's what I was waiting for. I'm like, is the whole show gonna be fireworks, pyro, God knows what? Nah, but it's good because you're starting off fresh still. You're not getting ready for, or they're trying to prepare you for the big stuff. So anywho, afterwards, when Zigzag was over, they started right then and there with Links 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, yeah. And for those who do not know, links means to the left, I guess. Yeah, that's what I remember learning from German. But excuse me. So when I was hearing like how they were starting the song, my feet was already stomping, which Garrett, by the way, mentioned that if anybody was in our row, if you felt like the chairs were moving or if you felt the floor shaking, it was probably me. And because of that, that's how hyped I was for these songs. So like when Links 2, 3, 4 was starting, you hear the little marching band in the beginning. So if you guys do not know what I'm talking about, it's like this. I think like the way how that sounds, that's how it started. And so like I'm stopping my feet back and forth, and then once they started the heavy part, that's when the headbanging started for me. And at the end of the day, no regrets. But when that happened, because I was headbanging for the first time, one of my left earring started unhooking itself, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't headbang this hard. Fuck it, the earrings are coming off. That's how you know this show was really good, because I want to say this is not the first time I wore earrings to a concert, but the way how my earrings were like like the ones that I have, they have a little hook that they hang into, and then you can like unhook it and the earring comes off in a way. I don't know how to explain it, but I was headbanging so much that it unlatched itself. So I was like, I'm not losing these earrings. I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna just take them off and headbang my ass off. And yes, I literally headbanged my ass off sitting down. If I was in the crowd, I probably would have been moving so hard. But you know, I kind of gotta stay in control. So anywho, but yeah, Links 234 was basically already getting you like pumped up, and it was so good. So there's that. Excuse me. Now after that, they play Sensuch. I can't pronounce that one. And that one, they finally started the fireworks, and I was like, oh my god, here we go. And it was pretty cool. The only thing though, there was a part, I think they were singing, or they weren't singing, and all you hear is silence. And I was like, don't forget that none of us know that much of German, and we don't know most of the lyrics, but it's okay. You know, the fireworks were already pumping us up right then and there. Because after that, we had Zeitdish. I did get a break from the headbanging. However, the pyro already started there. So, and it was only just in the stage, because wait till I tell you later on what happens. But the pyro was starting on the stage, and you kind of slightly feel the heat. I'm pretty sure those that were in the crowd already felt it. So I was like, okay, all right, you know, I feel it, but you know, it's whatever. It's pyro. Oh my god, you know, I was freaking out. So Zeitdish was the next one, but then right after that was Mein Herz brennt. So Mein Herz brennt, it's more slower, but you know, you still have that heavy feeling throughout the song. And the way how they, when they were performing, I love how the lights were coordinating with the piano and the violin, because there's a part that goes, what is it? Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, or something like that. It sounded like System of a Down for a second. But, you know, that one little thing, the lights just tend to follow off to the beats, whether if it's going from left to right from the stage, from top to bottom to top, and then again right to left. The way how it was, I'm like, this is like amazing. You know, at this point, like, my soul already left my body because of how beautiful the lights were, and you know, following it to the beat of the song. Now, other than that, like the way how, you know, we were all singing My Herz brennt, and you know, I'm like, come on guys, get it together, jam together. I want to hear the whole crowd sing, at least saying My Herz brennt. You know, that's he's trying to make it as easier as you can. But I mean, some people catched up to it. Just everybody on my section didn't get to sing as much. Honestly, everybody on my, well, not everybody, but the people that were sitting next to me were kind of like older, and I'm like, I'm the only one that's like headbanging. That's why I'm like, do y'all know who Rammstein is? But anywho, when My Herz brennt was over, then that's where I started getting more pumped up, because Pope was the next song. And Pope, for some reason, this became one of my favorite songs right around 2021, because of the story that it tells about, I guess, the sister. I think she's being a whore or something, and you're seeing it through the perspective of a younger child, I think. But for me, it's the way how it sounds, the way how the energy is of the song. They brought it into that stage. So whenever I mentioned like the little boy, I guess, or something, I don't know if they were referencing it through the lyrics of the song, because when Pope was getting ready to start, we see this big carriage, like a baby carriage, which later becomes like set on fire. But you know, they're bringing this carriage, and then Till Lindemann, the lead singer, has this camera on his head, and he just goes and tries to, you know, put the camera, like he first did it on Richard, then he did it on Flake, and so forth and so forth. So, you know, he's doing that, and then like finally we get some camera on them, like we get to see vision of them for those that are kind of further away and can only see tiny people. You know, we finally got the visual on the big screen that they have on top of the stage. So they were doing that, and you know, I think again, once the fire started coming in, it's pretty beautiful to see it, you know, especially the part where, they're ending the song, and it just goes dun dun, like, when he's already saying damn damn, and then the song is slowly starting to become over. The carriage is like slowly like dimming the fire. It's so beautiful. And not only that, they already brought out the confetti, so it was really hard to see, but I was like distracted with the confetti, or whatever they call it, those little things that they pop out on stage to celebrate, God knows what. It's not confetti, because I've seen confetti. This is not confetti. But anywho, they did all of that, and I was just like, wow, this is gonna get flooded with so many things of paper, God knows whatever this is. But Puppet was really, really good. Now, Hirate Mitch, I think I'm pronouncing that right. This one, I just hear the piano from Flake, and I was just like, is this what I think it is? Like, it's really hard for me to detect the songs right then, like right off the bat. But once I started hearing, or excuse me, once I started seeing Till started banging his head on this thing that I think it's a piece of metal, I'm like, is this Hirate Mitch? Because that's how it kind of starts, with the dun dun, and then dun dun dun, kind of like how the beat starts. But he's over there banging his head. I'm like, my boy, you okay? And I'm like, well, no, I mean, to be fair, I'm not okay either, but still. So when Hirate Mitch started, at this point, my arms and necks started, well, not hurting, but like, I'm starting to put them to work. Because, on the chorus where it says Hirate Mitch, and then goes, oi, oi, oi. And then Hirate Mitch, oi, 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 like that. Obviously I'm swinging my hands back and forth, and it's just only my right hand at this point. And when the song started, obviously it starts really heavy, so I started shaking my hand like really hard. I'm already getting pumped, and just when you thought, oh, this is good, the pyro comes back, and the chorus, and the part like how I mentioned when we go oi, 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 like that part, that's when the flame comes, and it's only on the stage, but it's still like, oh my God, like, what else can we ask for? We don't need fireworks, we need pyro. Fire is what it's keeping everything holding together. But yeah, so you thought, oh, okay, we're gonna get a banger. No, we get a slow song after. It's like they know. It's like we don't want to start off with heavy songs, and then slow songs, or slow songs because people are gonna get bored, and then the heavy songs. They know how to distribute what kind of songs they want to do, because the next song was Zeit, and Zeit is a slow, sad song. So like, I get a break. From banging my head, what do you call it, moving my arms, and God knows what. So when the song was, playing, of course it was sad, but, it was very entertaining to see it, especially on the stage. At the very end, excuse me, at the very end of the song, the way how the music is slowly tuning off, you see the stage starting to give you this resemblance of what it's called, the Zeithutter. I think that's how they pronounced it. It's in the music video for Zeit, if you guys have not seen it. And honestly, like, I zoomed out my camera, you can see it is perfect as always, and I'm just like, this is beautiful. It's just those little details that I look at in concerts where they kind of resemble the whole music video taste. Same thing with like Zigzag. The way how Zigzag was shown in the stage was giving you like how they were performing in the music video with all the plastic surgeries. Like, the colors that they had was basically the colors that they gave in the concert. So I really love that. But anywho, the next one afterwards, like, just okay, we got a break from the slow song from Zeit. Now let's get into the nice and heavy. But first, I don't consider this one an intermission. It was mostly like, Richard, getting us pumped for Deutschland. Deutschland was the next song that was coming up. And if you guys have not heard, which again, this is on the Rammstein stadium tour set list, there is a remix of Deutschland, which is by Richard, RZK, however you guys want to call him. Excuse me. Now, I've seen actually, I did not see the videos for this one in particular, but I remember when they first started doing their tour, and they were ready to go on tour before Rona canceled everything. I remember I heard the song before, the remix, and I have seen the group, which would be, if I'm not, well, I know for sure Till was there, Paul was probably there, maybe Flake. I don't know who the other person, because it was only 4 people and Richard was up in the stage with the DJ set, so one person was missing, and I couldn't tell from a distance, obviously, because when the group came out, they were wearing this light up suit, and from what I saw before, before the concert, and when they were doing the announcement, they were kind of dancing to the remix song. So I figured, oh my god, they're gonna do the dance, so let me go ahead and obviously admire. And so that's what they did. Richard's over there doing his remix part, and kind of giving us this party rave kind of vibe, and we're over there dancing. Like, I remember some people like were trying to get into their seats, but they were also like dancing at the same time, and I was like, I was like, this is really nice. Like, it doesn't always have to be hard rock. It can always be techno, raves, whatever it is. And that's what I love about Rammstein. And so while they're doing that, the 4 members, of course, that I was telling you about, they come in, they do their light up suits, and they're just there, slow dancing. But then they start moving around and they look all fucking adorable, I swear to God. And I was like, let me just hug them for once. But yeah, they're over there dancing and, getting ready to start Deutschland. So like when they run away, I'm pretty sure they're over there taking their outfits out. You see Richard his DJ says, starting to go down from the stage, which is getting you pumped up for Deutschland after that. And the way how the regular Deutschland song started is basically, again, how the music video started for that song, where there's like this big heavy noise, and like the way how the stadium was, it was like it was searching for something, and it was like a big lighthouse, and the light was facing everybody in the crowd, and you can see the crowd who was facing the light, like freaking out, like like, oh my god, and this and that, and then proceeds with Deutschland. Now, this song is one of my favorite songs, and not only that, that's one of the songs I can actually sing in German. Like, I know the lyrics by heart. Excuse me. So if you guys have seen my video, again, you can see it on Instagram. I actually posted a video of not the whole entire video, but just a little clip of me singing Deutschland. And there was a part where Till doesn't sing because he wants the crowd to kind of like sing it for him, but even though the band is still playing their music, you can barely hear the crowd, but you can almost hear me screaming at the top of my lungs saying, Deutschland, Deutschland, über allen, which means Germany, I forgot, above all. There we go. I was like, wait, I'm like, I know this. But yeah, so that part, I guess that's where I injured my throat. I was like, I injured a lot of things. If it wasn't my neck, if it wasn't my arm, it was my throat. So there's that. So anywho, excuse me, I'm over here dying again. But when that song was performing, yeah, I was really excited for Deutschland. It wasn't even the other songs that were being performed. I think Deutschland was the one I was waiting for, because again, I can sing it. I can definitely, sing my heart out. And once I hear it now, I'm just like, yes, take me back. And whenever I see the video of, the recording, I'm just like, take me back now. But yeah, definitely check that out. Again, it's on my Instagram if you guys want to check out that video. But anywho, the next song after Deutschland was Radio. Not radio, Radio. The way how they say, you have to say it with an accent, kind of like in a Spanish version. So in this one, I guess for me, I still headbang because how the song starts and everything. But afterwards, I had to give my neck a break. I had to give everything a break. So like, I was kind of chilling on Radio. I still recorded it, so like my hand was perfectly good to the point that I could finally see the band perform like on the screen. Like myself, I'm holding the phone, but my eyes aren't on the phone. Like, I see my phone is facing the band, so like I'm away from the phone and I can see them perform, and I'm like, I can see clearly now the ray has gone. Anywho, but the Radio, again, best thing ever, and same thing, the way how the stage was set up, beautiful. But then as soon as Radio was over, Mein Teil was the one that started. So when it started, I freaked out again. And the thing is that, if you guys have seen Rammstein perform Mein Teil was the one that they performed for many years, and they always have the same thing over and over again, which Till ends up cooking Flake. Excuse me. So that's how it starts. You see Till Lindemann come in with his butcher outfit, all bloody and everything, getting ready to cook Flake, and they bring in this big ass pot for Flake to be in there. And, and the whole time, Flake has this space suit. I guess because, again, at the end of the day, they're gonna, not burn him or anything, but just throw fire underneath the pot, and maybe if any heat does end up catching him, he's already protected. But when Mind Tao started, obviously that's the same thing. My legs were banging back and forth because of the way how it is, and the way how the chorus is set up. I already know how to sing it, so there was that too. Excuse me. My God, I'm over here dying and everything. But anywho, I think the biggest highlight for Mind Tao was obviously when they were going through that little not intermission, but like the little break that usually does the guitar solo for the song, is whenever Till's trying to cook Flake was taunting him. So like at first Till brought in a flamethrower. That didn't work. So then he brings in this big ass flamethrower with a big ass tank, and then that didn't work. So what happens? He brings out like this gun flamethrower now. But the way how he does it is it shoots up fire, and then next thing you know, you hear the firework after that. And Flake still again, he was taunting him in the beginning, but then afterwards it went on for so long. When you're hearing that, you hear the band playing their solo. And oh my God, that shit was beautiful. Like, again, breathtaking. So afterwards, they finish the song, and you see Flake getting out of the pot, and he's like crawling and everything, and he's going up into what it looks like. What is it? Like, it looks like, I guess, another set of I guess another smaller stage of a piano or something. And so excuse me. So when he gets up there, he starts playing the piano, and next thing you know, it's Du Hast. And I was like freaking out even more. So Du Hast started playing, and I was like, I cannot catch a break. Du Hast was played, and what do you call it? Excuse me. Du Hast was played, so like I already knew what to expect, and that's the one that I have seen so many videos on social media where, well, I'll get into that, but I already knew what to predict on Du Hast, or what to expect for Du Hast. So I mean, and even then, everybody should be singing that damn song on the top of their lungs, because it's so easy to sing that song. All you gotta say is Du Hast Mitch, and for those that do not know, it means you have me, something like that. But anywho, excuse me. Whenever that song was performing, I was like, yeah, I'm headbanging again, like there's no tomorrow. And then afterwards, I made sure that once they were doing that solo, I guess, is when they give Till this bow arrow that shoots up a firework. And so this is the video this is what I've seen on social media, and for me to experience in real life, I was like, wow. I literally stood up in my seat, and I hated myself, but at the same time, I could not contain myself. So, Till shoots up the fireworks all the way to the backstage, and then in the back of the stage itself, or the arena, sorry, they're still in front of me. It's like these two little poles, and on top of it has the circles that light up, and I'm assuming that's where the fireworks are going to shoot back up to the stage. So same thing, it goes one way and then it goes back, and once the two fireworks head back to the stage, you see the fireworks, and I'm over there freaking out because of how amazing that shit looked. It looks so good. And then they finish their song, and Till's just standing there, and everybody's just like losing it, because how great that whole little performance was. Like, everybody was clapping, cheering, I was clapping and cheering. I was like, bro, what is next? Sonne was next. And before I even get to that, before I get to Sonne, and this one I have not seen videos of, so I was not expecting what I was expecting through Sonne. But before I get to Sonne, I noticed that while I was sitting down, like, there was some seat, like, I saw people jumping off the that were sitting in the first row, in in my section, I guess when Du House was playing, they literally jumped over the barricade and joined the crowd itself on the general mission. And like the security people, they don't mind. They're not even paying attention. So when I noticed that the row in front of me, there were like 4 seats available, and they've been empty since the beginning of the show. So like before Sunday even started, I texted Garrett and I'm like, hey man, there's some seats over here if you guys just want to join me, and that way y'all can have a better view of the thing. So while Sone was playing, he barely texted me back saying meet me like in the bathroom so that way we can like come down with you. So but because I was so hooked on Sone, like I responded all late, but good thing they were waiting, and I'll tell you all about that in a bit. But Sone started playing, and sweet Jesus, the pyro, oh my fucking god, when I tell you I felt that heat, I fucking felt it. And what I mean by that is because now the fire that they were showing, it was in the crowd itself, so it was much closer to me than than the fire that they throw on the stage. So every time they go into the chorus, you know, here comes the sun, you know, all you see is fire. And so, you know, shit was amazing. But then at the very, very end, and again, this is on my TikTok if you guys want to check what I'm talking about. But and again, it's at Lielers on TikTok. There was the very end of the song, they just kept throwing fire and fire and fire. This is like, you know, like the ones on the crowd, so I felt it even more. But what freaked me out the most is when there's a little piece, I don't know what it was, but something fell off the roof, and I want to blame the fire itself. When I saw that fall, I was like, please, for the love of God, this stage better not, like this whole stadium better not collapse on me. Like, I'm not ready to die. Am I ready to die for Rammstein? Maybe. But still, I started freaking out a little bit, and they kept the fire going. So like I literally just stopped, like I didn't headbang because my anxiety just took over afterwards. And then like once the song was over, I turned and I saw one of the speakers with smoke on it. Like that's how good of the show was. But it wasn't on fire, thank God. It was just smoke that was coming off. But again, if you guys see the video, it's just me yelling, no, no. But still, that was fucking amazing. Now I noticed Garrett was just like spamming me like, hello, you know, what do you call it, are you coming? And I was just like, oh, like right now. So they were Rammstein was doing their intermission. So once I found out they were doing, or once I realized it wasn't an intermission, I was like, hold up, let me go get them, because the next song was In Hell, but it was through the Clavier album, which is just a piano version. So I did not get to see what was happening, but what I'm assuming is obviously they left the stage and they came to the stage that was kind of closer to the crowd, and they were performing In Hell. So I didn't get to record much of that, but I mean, it's okay, I guess. Damn it, Garrett. But anywho, I had to run and get Garrett, get Cyrus, get Summer, and just basically bring him back to the seats before the next song comes in. So I was okay. And I'm over there telling them, I'm like, bro, my anxiety went, like, it just went off. And I was like, part of me just wanted to leave before the whole stadium collapsed on me. But at the same time, I'm like, I gotta trust the process, you know. So anywho, we're over there heading back, and I got lost. I did not know I was next to my section, but like I guess we went to the opposite side, still not knowing that I was already in my section. And so when we were going down the stairs, I was like, I know it's on the other side. Like that's what I thought for some reason. And I was like, I know my section's on the other side, but really wasn't. And I fucking missed a step. I missed a step and I fell, which I did not realize, but until later after the concert, I bruised my thigh. To this day, it still hurts, but not as much as how it was earlier. Like the next day after the concert, I was growing a big ass ball. And then the following day, my thigh was already purple. And right now, I mean, it's not as purple. It's like light purple now, but it still slightly hurts. But yeah, I fell. So I was like, yeah, that's basically how a concert is. You're going to be all bruised up. You're going to be bruised up somewhere. So, oh well. But yeah, I fell. I got up, but my endorphins, they were kicking in. So I did not feel the pain until later. So, Or maybe I felt the pain late. Actually, no. I think I felt the pain later that night. So never mind. Yeah. So it took a while for it to kick in. But anywho, once we got seated, Garrett was sitting next to me, and then Cyrus and Summer were sitting on the front row in front of us, and they were like, "Bro, thanks for the seats, this and that." And I'm like, "Hey, I told them, I'm like, I saw people jumping the barricade, so if they jumped the barricade, I'm sure those people that were sitting there, they also probably jumped the barricade, or they just managed to sneak in into the front crowd. But like throughout the whole show, those seats have been empty." So I'm so glad that, I did not sell my tickets for God knows what reason. And I managed to get them to have a better view of the concert. Because I'm pretty sure where they were at, it was horrible. And then even better, I got reunited with my keys. So that way I'm like, if I lose them, I don't lose my keys. I mean, if they get lost, that's their fault. Not mine. But anywho, back to the intermission. Once I sat down, I got to see, like, I guess they finished performing In Hell, and so they were already waving to the crowd, and they were heading back to the stage. And from what I caught was them going into the little inflatable boats, and the crowd was just like pushing them to the stage, which was really nice. But however, I feel like, I was kind of worried, part of me, because what if it got carried away and they send them somewhere, and then Flake would be mad, because I think Flake is the only one that doesn't like it when people don't do what they're told. But anywho, once that was over, then they started performing again, which thank God, it all kind of intertwined at a good time. But afterwards they started performing Auslander. Now the crowd over here throughout that song, I don't know how, but I could have sworn I saw like balloons or beach balls. People were just like throwing the beach balls while jamming to Auslander, which it gave me life. It was like, man, I wish I was there, because at the end of the day, Auslander means outsider, and the way how the the way how the music sounds, it's more like, you're at a beach. You're like in the music video, if you've seen it, they're arriving from a boat from the sea. And you're kind of getting that vibe when you see the beach balls. But I love the crowd. I really did love seeing the crowd just having the time of their life. Now at the end of the song of Auslander, I also noticed that Paul and Richard were like so close together. And I don't know if I saw a video of this, but I kind of had an idea it was gonna happen. But like they were ending the song, and they were so close to each other playing the guitar, and I was telling Garrett, I'm like, watch, they're gonna kiss, I already know. And what happens? They kissed, and I'm over there screaming and yelling, I told you. And what do you call it? I think Garrett told me, he's like, that's how Germans are, like they're always like too close. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, that shit was so funny. And I'm pretty sure they've been doing it at every single show, because again, I'm pretty sure I saw a video of them kissing before, like while they were performing, and I was like, well, I caught it on camera now, so I'm good. And then after that song was over was Du riechst so gut, which means you smell so good. Anywho, whenever that song started, obviously I was headbanging my ass again. Because of how it starts. Now, what I did not notice is while I was headbanging, I kind of saw a little light coming off, and I was like, wait, stop headbanging. And Till brings out this, I don't know what it looks like, but it's like a spiral looking mechanic that blows out kind of fire looking fires. I don't know how to explain it, but he was just spinning that shit down, and I think he has done it in other previous show where he spins that for Du riechst so gut. So that was another like attention hooker for me. But other than that, I don't think they threw any fireworks or fires on that one, but that kind of caught my attention. And so I like that. And now and there's a reason why I'm stuttering, because I'm over here trying to pull up something. So here it is. So whenever that song was over, they were gonna play Pussy. And yes, this is what do you call it, explicit context. So I'm making sure I excuse me, I take whatever it is that I say and make sure I put it as explicit, because I'll be saying some stuff that whoo. But anywho, after Du riechst so gut was done playing, they started playing Pussy. And the thing is that, I'm not gonna lie, the way how it started, it was like, the sound, I'm about to play it for you guys, but the sound was like so forbidden, so sexual, so like like full of lust. Like, this is what I mean. Also, excuse me. I just love how it sounds. And then they add the guitar riff right about here, I think. Like that. It sounds so perverted, so erotic. So good. I love it. Now, I don't know if you heard me, but it sounded like I said, well, I mean, it sounded like I said, it's the last song. So in previous concerts that, or, you know, from what I've seen, like, their concert, for Paris live, you know, they ended with Pussy, I think. And so I was over here terrified because I'm like, they better not end it already. I was like, because my prediction was they should have at least played America before they signed off, which in that case it wasn't true, but still, I was like, there's no way, there has to be more songs. But that's what I thought. I'm like, it can't be the last song for Pussy. So when Pussy started, you know, obviously you heard that little moment, and I was just like, whew, mama, I'm already getting steamy over here because of the stupid song. It's not stupid, actually, it's pretty good. Now, excuse me. And then afterwards, you know, they were performing, and this one is a little bit much easier to sing because there are some, you know, lyrics in English. So obviously whenever the song started, and Till Lindemann just let the crowd sing, you know, too big, too small, size does matter after all. You know, it let the crowd singing, but I still couldn't hear them, you know. I was the only one screaming and yelling, but still. And then, excuse me. And so, either way, that song was pretty catchy. Now, from what I noticed too in previous shows that I've seen, like, you know, with their live concerts and everything, they bring out this mechanical dick, you know, and the way how Till says, you know, you got a pussy, and then the way how he enthusiasms his dick, he's like, I have a dick, and I was like, damn, sir, okay, we understand that, you know. Excuse me. He's literally on top of what it looks like a mechanical dick, and it's just throwing confetti at the whole crowd. And I was telling Gary, man, I kind of wish I was there, you know. I mean, imagine just being there, just getting confetti from Till Lindemann. But yeah, they always do that, and it was so good. And then after that, more stuff started coming out through the whole crowd, and it wasn't just the front crowd; it was everybody else in the back. So that was pretty cool. And so again, the whole time I was like, this cannot be the last song. This cannot. And then next thing you know, they start the song Rammstein. And you might be wondering, like, wait, they have a song called Rammstein? Yes, they have a song. Rammstein has a song called Rammstein, which, well, it's not a part of their Rammstein self-titled album. It's from their beginning, what is this their debut album? I cannot pronounce their debut album. Herz something. Anywho, so when Rammstein was playing, I was like, yes, thank you, God, Jesus. And I know this cannot be the last song. I'm like, there has to be another one. But anywho, we felt the heat again on this time. But whenever not only when Till sings, you know, Rammstein, you know, there's enthusiastic on the pause. When he sings it, there's the fire coming out and everywhere, like not only in the front of the stage, but also in front of us, like where the crowd is at. But Till was also wearing this device that throws fire, that makes him look like a peacock on fire, you know, because it's spitting on his back. And I've seen the video too. Now, from my angle, it does look like a peacock, but it's amazing the way how it is. Again, there's a picture and a video on my Instagram if you guys want to check it out. And so the way how it looks, it's so beautiful. It's like, wow. I was like, what more can you do? And that's the thing about Rammstein. They don't care. They're going to use fire the most they can. And that's the thing about Till Lindemann. He doesn't care. He wants the more fire, the better, you know, at this point. And then afterwards, throughout the end of the song of Rammstein, we also see Paul and Richard's guitar have part of the fire. And so not only Till was spreading out that bloom of fire, you know, the Paul and Richard's guitars was also spitting out fire. So it's like, you know, more fire. and it was so good. This one, it's like a slow headbanging song, but at the same time, because of the fire, I did not want to headbang as much because of how beautiful it looked. Um, and then afterwards, once the song was over, they had Itchville. And so that song, it sounded like I said it right. I'm so proud. I'm gonna rehear this, and I'm like, if I said it right, oh, I'm gonna be so proud of myself. But anywho, the way how this song starts, it's more like a little bit more techno. It's time to party. But then later on, you still get the heavy metal on there. There was more fireworks on there, which was pretty good, I guess, because we need a break from the fire. If we have more fire throughout the show, who knows? Maybe the stadium would have collapsed. Excuse me. But anywho, Ishville was another good song that they performed, and then they finished it off with Adieu. Adieu was the last song for the concert, and I say this with sadness because I did not want it to be over. But it would make sense why they had the song at the ending, because it's, they say goodbye auf Wiedersehen, which means goodbye in German. So it was the last song. I was sad. The crowd, however, whenever they were singing the chorus, the crowd was waving their hands, back and forth, like, left to right, whatever, kind of like waving the band goodbye. And I'm just like, I'm not waving them goodbye. No, this cannot be it. Like, I was in denial at this point. But it was so nice. I like, it's a sad song. I like how it starts too. It's very, what do you call it? Very eerie. But then later on, when the song was over, obviously they're finishing it off with so much smoke, so much fireworks, so much lights, and I'm just like, no, it's over. Like, it's kind of sad. Like, I want more. Give me an encore. Give me America, for God's sakes. And so, excuse me. Once the song was over, obviously, they were saying their goodbyes, and while they're saying their goodbyes, you just hear the instrumental version of Sonne, which is also in the Clavier album. So while they're over there, they're saying, like, the band saying goodbye. I'm actually standing up at this point, waving goodbye at them. I highly doubt they can see me from where I was at, but still, it was worth it. And so, excuse me. And so, whenever they finally turn on the lights, you could see all the smoke, obviously, on the crowd. It was pretty neat. But as they're leaving, Till does say, San Antonio, thank you so much, Danke, all of that. And so I was like, don't leave. But as they're leaving, they say bye again. And so they get into what it looks like, again, an elevator that is attached to the stage. And every individual has his own section. And they get in there, the elevator slowly taking them up onto the stage, and then after that, it just has, you hear this loud pop, and the lights turn on, and, basically it's the end of the concert. And I'm so sad. I'm like, why did it have to end? Why? But anywho, that basically was the whole Rammstein show, and, I'm not gonna lie, this was by far the best concert ever. This concert topped off Slipknot. This concert topped off, I guess, Ghost. I mean, Ghost was not up there, but I found a new love for Rammstein, and as much as I love saying it, but I cannot do Slipknot like this. Slipknot, we have history, so Slipknot will stay as my number one favorite band, but Rammstein will be my second favorite band, and then Ghost will be on the third position. So I'm really glad I got to see them. Again, it was worth the wait. A lot of people will say that it was worth the wait. From what I learned, I actually learned that they're coming up with a new album, so maybe we will probably do a review on that one. I wanted to do a review of Zeit, the album itself, or was it Zeit? I forgot. But again, time never intertwined. Same thing with Ghost's new album. I will, however, now that this is all over, sadly, I hate to say it, Slipknot's album is coming out, which keep an eye on with that one, because I probably am gonna review it. But it should be coming out sometime either this week or next week. But it's sometime in September. So now it's like, oh hey Slipknot, now y'all got some work to do, because again, Rammstein's over here rumbling the number 2 spot, trying to come up to the top. Y'all gotta impress me now. But anywho, yes, I'm really sad that it's over. Obviously I had an amazing time with my friends, and especially catching up with Garrett and everything. What I forgot to mention in the beginning of the episode, like, this is how dedicated I was. I don't know if y'all can hear this. So I finally got my nails done. I haven't had, well, it's not that I haven't had my nails done since like 10 years. Oh my God, it's been 10 years to be exact that I haven't had my nails done because, at the time I worked at retail and they always start coming off. And now it's like I kind of work retail, but not so much. But then I'm also working at a radio station. So it's like I don't have to worry about my nails breaking. But I got my nails done, and the way how this lady did it, it's so beautiful. Again, if you guys want to check out my nails, it's over there on Instagram. But I told this lady, like, I showed her a picture, and basically my nails are, all black, but you see like some flames because, Rammstein is very, they're known for their fire. And so she did mostly fire, but then on not my index finger, I forgot what finger this one is. This is the one next to your pinky. She managed to draw the logo of Rammstein. And I remember she was telling me she will try. And I was like, girl, you didn't try. You literally nailed this thing, literally. But I'm like, you nailed that the way how she did it is so amazing. I'm so grateful. And the thing is that it was cheap. I didn't have to go to some bougie nail salon, which I don't understand why people like to go to expensive as nails. I went to a cheap nail salon and they still did an amazing job. Because again, at the end of the day, I'm a broke college student. Now I'm back to broke. But anywho, I really like how she did my nails for the Rammstein concert. And the whole weekend, this past weekend, I hate that it's over. Now I just have all the memories to hold on to until who knows when is the next time to make even more great memories. Because now I'm back in Houston. I'm over here like, every time I'm in San Antonio, it's always breathtaking. I always have a good, amazing experience over there. And the thing is that, like, when I go to San Antonio, I just love how their architecture is. And that's what I was telling Garrett when him and Cyrus and Summer came. I was like, because they never been to Texas, so I was their tour guide. So I was like, just pay attention to how the buildings are, pay attention to how people are, and you'll see a whole different perspective, which he did. However, they did complain that, Texas drivers are the worst drivers ever, which is true. Because the moment I came from Houston, I already started hating it. I was like, how in the fuck I forgot where I live? Because people weren't using their blinkers. People were cutting me off. People were just braking out of nowhere, driving slow. And I'm just like, I fucking hate it. San Antonio, however, for some reason, I didn't have a bad experience with the drivers. I don't know how. But it was really nice to be there. It was, again, it was an amazing time. Catching up with friends, having a good time, staying up till 3 in the freaking morning. And only having maybe 3 hours of sleep, but again, it was worth it. And then Monday when I came, I was actually not Monday, Sunday I was in massive pain. I swear to God, Sunday was like the day of recovery. So I was headbanging so much that my neck was sore. For some reason, my legs were sore because of how I fell, and my arms were sore because of how much I was moving my hands and then also holding the phone. And then I forgot to mention why I feel like I might got sick. So when we left the concert, there was a whole crowd of people, and my anxiety cannot contain it. So throughout this whole crowd, we were all joking around. It's like there's so many people, and I was just telling them, man, this is probably the worst time for me to be out here and not have a mask, because right now we're still technically in Rona times. It can happen anywhere. So I have a feeling because I was exposed to that crowd, I got sick by someone. Who knows who, but so far from what I know, everybody, my friends in New Mexico, they're not sick. I'm the only one that caught it because I have the weak immune system. So yeah, that's why I am the way how I am right now. If I might sound congested, you hear me coughing here and there, like I'm losing out of breath and whatnot, but it was worth it because I needed to record this episode so that way you guys get to hear my experience. But excuse me, I don't know how many times I would say I fucking love the concert. I fucking love the weekend. If I could repeat it over, I would, because sweet Jesus, I cannot get over it. I cannot. And I remember, I think I said this in the Slipknot concert. No, this really topped it. But anywho, that basically wraps up the show. Pray for me that I get better. Pray that that it's not Rona, that it's just some random sickness and I get better soon. My headaches are coming off like crazy right now, but I'm just like, no, let me finish this fucking podcast or this episode so that way I can, fully rest. But pray that I don't get sick, and like how I mentioned earlier, the next episode, again, school started, so I barely have any time now to just do a lot of episodes like I used to. Like, I really do want to make an episode of just catching up on pop culture, because there's like a new trend right now. Like, I was talking to Gary how I got sick, and he was like, you should stock up on NyQuil or take some NyQuil. And I was like telling him, I'm like, bro, I don't know if you know, but there is like a crazy trend right now on Twitter, or not on Twitter, but I guess it was on TikTok, whatever, on social media, where people would cook NyQuil, or people would cook their chicken with NyQuil, to the point that the FDA made an announcement and advised the people to stop doing it because it's unsanitary. It's disgusting. I saw the video and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And now I'm just like, well, there goes NyQuil. Now I'm praying and hoping that everybody just took all the night medicine just to do this fucking trend. Some of us are over here dying. Hello. But it's okay. I got Mucinex. I have Mucinex, and I've been having that since I don't know how long. I don't know the last time I was sick, but they're not expired, so that's good. But yeah, like I want to talk about that weird trend, and then God knows how many trends. I want to talk about wrestling. Wrestling is happening right now with AEW. Everything that's been happening since Triple H decided to take what do you call it? Ever since he became in charge of the creative, it's been hella crazy. Like, it's been good, and now I get to see which company is gonna thrive. So far both companies are thriving, but now it's more like WWE is slowly winning than AEW. But however, wrestling fans are still continuing to be divided, whether people are team WWE, team AEW, whichever one. And then with the wrestlers coming back, some people are suggesting that wrestlers that are in AEW are probably wondering if they can come back to WWE, because now that Triple H is in charge, people who were in NXT have more potential possibilities to come back to the main roster. So it's just stuff like that I wish I could talk to, but unfortunately I can't, because again, at the end of the day, I have school. But 8 more months, it will be all over soon. Like, I'm close to graduating. Thank fucking God, we're almost there. Ever since I started this podcast, I was like, oh my God, I still have a long way to go. Nope. Honestly, like, if I think about it quickly, like, the next 4 months are gonna go by so quick that I'm only gonna have 4 more months left too, when I start the spring semester and realize, holy shit, I'm about to graduate, and I'm finally gonna go back to being doing my career, except it's different now. Like, it's something I've been wanting to do for so long now, and now that I have my degree, I cannot wait to see where I end up. So best of luck for me, for sure. Best of luck for all of you guys. If you guys are either in school, or planning to, try to get a promotion, or, trying to find a better job, don't, what do you call it? Don't settle for less. Do better. That's all I gotta say, I'm really excited for everybody, whoever's having a great time listening to this, because I know I had, obviously. But, excuse me. But hopefully on the next episode we're gonna talk about Slipknot's album, because again, I have to review it. I missed out on reviewing so many albums that I wish I reviewed, but you know what, we'll give it a chance for Slipknot, and maybe clear out my schedule and have the opportunity to do it. And then let's just hope that the next time I do talk about the album, I'm not as sick, hopefully. But yeah, so that wraps up the Rammstein episode. Thank you again. Thank you again for everybody that was listening, especially those in the German demographic, because I'm pretty sure you guys been waiting for me to say something like this. But also, I want to particularly say to Rammstein, danke für alles, for the whole thing. Just, basically that's what I just said. Thank you for coming into San Antonio. Thank you for giving us the best performance of our entire lives. Thank you for, God knows, for giving me this amazing experience. Not only for you guys, like, if it wasn't for you guys, I probably would not have reunited with some old people, But thank you so much. And San Antonio, again, you continue to blow me away. If you guys are living in San Antonio, Oh, I envy you guys. I envy you guys so much, you know. And I'm sorry. I mean, for those that are living in Houston, I mean, yes, there is love for Houston, but for me, I'm sorry, it's a big city, and I'm just a tiny person that came from a small town. I'm not used to it, you know. And I'm not saying San Antonio is a small town. It's just, you know, it's less congested. But anywho, we'll go ahead and wrap up the show, and obviously, I will talk to you guys on the next episode.